Listen, bro, I need to be honest with you, innit? Because it seems like no one else in your life wants to be honest with you with this. Stop buying cheap shit. Like, just stop it. You're wasting your money. Your hard-earned cash, bro. You're wasting it. In the past, you may know that I've been on like a minimalist journey and stuff, and I've kind of strayed away from it, retained some principles, but the main thing that stuck with me is how much stuff that we buy that we don't need. And money aside, even when I was thrifting and buying things a lot cheaper, I was still accumulating a lot of things that I did not need. Like, I would see for the one time, I'm like, oh wow, it's not gonna cost me much. Let me just bring it home, right? And that is an illness, man. That is an illness created by consumerism. That sounded good, didn't it? I'm going to get into the principle of this in a second, but I'm going to give you an example of what really hammered it home for me, because I realised even my parents don't know this. Before I went Turkey, I went to the shop and I was looking around. It was one of those mountaineering shops, and as you know, I like this brand. This brand right here, I'm a fan of it. So I saw a coat for sale, an Arc'teryx coat, and it was around £300, and my mum and my dad were with me, and they were looking at me like, what, you're gonna spend £300 on a coat? And I was looking at it, I liked the coat, and I know the brand, so I know that it's gonna last me a long time, right? I'm hinting at what we're getting at here. And they were like, oh, okay, well, if you really think you're gonna wear it, whatever. My mum went, she was just kind of washed her hands of it. But my dad was with me, he was like, wow, I can't believe you're buying a jacket for £300. But moving forward, like half an hour later, we've gone into Zara now, because I was like, well, I'm going on holiday, it would be nice to have some clothes. And I don't shop at Zara typically, but I was in the holiday mindset. I was thinking I need to buy things so that I can look good on holiday, etc. Right? So I went in and I saw some items. I was like, these are nice. I went and tried them on. Came out and I showed my mum and my dad. They're like, wow, they look so nice, you know, etc, etc. And I went back into the changing room and I was thinking, yeah, they do look pretty nice. And then I looked in the mirror, I was like, wait, hold on a second. Do I really need these? This t-shirt, I've got many t-shirts, right? And this wasn't doing anything that much better than the ones I previously owned. And so I looked and I checked myself for a second and I realized, wait, bro, you do not need these. You do not need these clothes. And so I took them off and I gave them back to the sales assistant. I said, yeah, I don't need these, thank you very much. Came out now, spoke to my mum, spoke to my dad. My mum's like, what, why didn't you buy them? I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. She was like, but it's not that expensive. I was like, right. Hear this now. They would have preferred me to buy something that was cheap, that I wouldn't wear that often, wouldn't utilize that often, over something that, cool, it's got a price tag that is quite high for the one time, but I'm gonna get a lot more wear out of. The price tags of things don't matter that much. I know it sounds crazy to say, but they don't matter that much. Because in the long term, especially if you're around my age and you're earning some money now, the difference between you buying some £100 worth of shit versus £500 of good quality stuff, you're going to keep going. Once this £100 of shit stuff runs out, you're going to have to keep buying it. But with something that costs high, I'm not saying that everything that costs a lot of money is worth it, by the way. I'm just saying that a lot of the time, the things that are worth the money come with quite a high price tag. Cost per use is so important. And I've realised now that I would rather spend my money on items that I'm going to be using on a regular basis and I'm going to get the value out of, as opposed to items that I will wear once and chuck away. Over the past few months, I've been making purchases that are quite a lot of money. A pair of shoes that I bought around last year, trainers, New Balance 992s. When I tell you they're my everyday trainer, I wear them almost everywhere. If you see me on road, I'm probably wearing those. And of course, they cost £200. They're the most money I've ever spent on trainers. And I used to work at Nike and I have a whole load of Nike trainers. Bro, when I tell you, none of them compare. But it just goes to show, if I wear those £200 trainers every day of the year, then that's less. Obviously, I don't wear them every day of the year, innit? But I'm going to be wearing them for multiple years. Already that costs less. That's like less than £1 a day if I was to wear it every day. Versus those shoes that you bought, those Jordans or whatever. No hate to Jordans. I've got Jordans, but bro, when I tell you the Jordans that I've got 4 pairs of Jordans, and none of them see as much use as these New Balances. Invest in quality items. I know it can hurt to see that much money come out of your bank account, but I promise you, in the long run, it's gonna hurt even more when you realize, hold on, I've been spending money on crap all my life. Why do I have to keep buying the same thing over and over again? Because you're buying a whack version of it. So don't buy a whack version of it. Invest some money into staples at least. At least staples. That's all I wanted to say, guys. Cost per use. Just think of that whenever you're going to be making a purchase. Think, how many times am I actually going to get a wear out of this? Don't want you to waste that money that you're working so hard for, right? As your friend, I've got you. Take care, bro.